Welcome back to our series on homeownership from the Southwest Michigan Association of Realtors. The next key to owning your own home is to figure out how much house you can afford and to save money. It's the third in our 8-part series, and this topic is budgeting and smart shopping. Many Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. Early on in our working lives, the hourly wages at the entry level, with little skills or further training, aren't very high. Making more money is almost entirely tied to how much education after high school you get. If you want to make more money, you need more training. Most Americans aren't taught in school about borrowing on credit, balancing a checkbook, saving money, or creating a budget. Instead, most of us are taught by media advertising that we should have everything we want in life now at whatever cost. That leads to a lot of wasted money and a lot of debt. To create a budget, it helps if you first know how much you're spending every day, week, and month currently. You already know how much money you bring home in your paychecks. One of the main reasons to buy a home is that so you can keep more of your money instead of giving it to the government because you get more state and federal tax deductions from your mortgage every year. The goal in creating a budget is to save money, both in how we spend our money and by putting some of it away to save in a bank or credit union. One of the most important things after credit that lenders look at when deciding to give you a home loan is how well you save money and how much you have in deposits. Deposits can be in checking, savings, or retirement accounts with any bank or credit union, a 401k, a 403b, or an IRA or mutual fund. To create a budget, you need to begin by writing down every dollar you spend. Every dollar. You don't need to spend money on computer software or an expensive journal. This simple spreadsheet starts with your take-home pay or after-tax income. How much do you get paid? When do you get paid? What day of the week is it? Do you have other side income that comes in at other times? You can add up the totals of how much money you actually have for a full month. Not how much you earned, but how much you brought home. Now let's start to look at expenses and where you spend money. Your rent, insurance, and other expenses. Write down how much they are and what week of the month they need to be paid. These are usually expenses you have once a month, every month. If there's something on the list you don't have to pay, leave it blank. And if there's something missing, you can add it in. Some expenses are weekly, like milk and other food items that go bad if you don't use them. Sometimes expenses come once a quarter, once every 3 months, or only once or twice a year. Don't miss those costs or money that you spend because they don't get paid on the month that you're currently looking at. It's important to know what day your monthly bills are due so you can pay them on time, or even better, a little early. The due date is not the day you mail a payment, but the date the payment must be at that account. Everyone has expenses, car repairs, medical bills that they didn't plan for, which is why savings accounts are so important. What you can plan for is that at some point you'll need money, and it's always cheaper to borrow from yourself. Start your budget by writing down income and what days and weeks you get it. Now, write down the bills you have to pay and when they're due. Now, for at least 1 week, write down every dollar you spend anywhere and where you spent it. A full month would give you a better idea of where your money goes and where you can really start to save money. Some common places to save money? Are you spending too much money eating out at restaurants? Are you turning out lights and appliances when not in the room, or is a television or radio always on? Can you adjust the temperature of your home or apartment to lower the utility bills? In order to save money, you need to become a smarter shopper as well. So here's some quick but tough questions for you to think about. Do you know which stores have the cheapest milk this week? Do you go through the grocery store and try and buy only things that are on sale? Do you know food and grocery prices well enough to know when a sale really is a sale? Do you drive to South Bend, Kalamazoo, or Grand Rapids to shop, even though the cost of gas and your time may mean you actually spent more money than if you'd bought something closer to where you live and work? Do you impulsively make purchases on something you want instead of what you really need? Are you buying furniture or appliances with a rent-to-own store so that you end up paying $3,000 or $4,000 for something you could have bought for less than $1,000 with cash? Do you feel like you have to be one of the first people to own the newest toy, car, or gadget? That's when they cost the most money because prices almost always go down. Do you have a $400, $500, or $600 a month car payment that you need to pay off first before you can really afford to buy a house? Which is more important to you, a good home or an expensive car or truck? Those aren't always easy questions to answer, but remember, you're going to own your own home, so you have to decide what's important for you and your family. Let's take a look at 8 tips for saving money that will get you closer to your goals. Number 1, don't buy things you don't need. With all the advertising we see and hear, that may not be easy, but can you save $5 a week on junk food or Starbucks that you currently spend that you really don't have to? 2. Figure out how much you need to save. How much will what you want cost, and how long will it take you to get there? You can make it to a goal, and so 3, set savings goals. Make your goal reasonable so you can be successful. It's a lot easier to start by setting a goal of $500, and once you've reached it, you can work on the next $500, and so on. If you try to set a goal for $3,000 or $4,000, you might get a little disappointed and frustrated and quit. Stick with it. Number 4, pay yourself first, but don't make any late payments to people you owe money. Saving money in the bank or credit union has to be a priority for you, and not just so you can buy a house. Sacrifice some video rentals or junk food or wherever else you might be wasting money and use those things as a reward after you've reached a savings goal. 5, work on keeping a record of everywhere you spend money so you can figure out ways you're wasting money. Then stop wasting it. It's your money. 6, make a budget and stick to it. Staying in a budget and saving money are 2 of the most important skills we need, and we must teach it to our children as well. 7, open a savings account with a local bank or credit union. You may not earn a lot of interest at the beginning of savings, but you will earn some interest on what you've saved. That's like paying yourself to be smarter with your money. And finally, 8, kill your debt. If you're not spending hundreds of dollars in high-interest credit card debt or on rent-to-own stores, you'll have more money to save and live on. Take the account you owe the least amount of money to and work to pay it off. Then, after it is paid off, apply what you don't have to send them to the next account until they're paid off. You do need 2 or 3 open active accounts, but not 5 or 10 more credit cards. Having active credit cards with no balances, because you can now pay them off every month, dramatically improves your credit scores while saving money. Higher credit scores and saving money are 2 of the most important factors, not just for buying a home, but for having a better quality of life and less stress. Save money, reduce debt. There's our basic look at budgeting and smart shopping. You're the one who has to do all the work on writing things down. Don't wait, get started today or tonight so you can get closer to reaching all of your goals. Our next segment will take a look at some of the important people you'll need to know along the way to buying your own home. Thanks for watching.